Today we've got our first figure from the third and final wave or line of Transformers Legacy United Cyberverse Universe Windblade on Way I Got It Figured.
The way I got it figured.
What's up, figure fans? Way I Got It Figured, back with another Transformers Legacy review. This time we're looking at Legacy United Windblade. I pre-ordered this figure on Hasbro Pulse, and she came in, and we're going to look at her. Windblade is a character we haven't had in Generations for quite some time, somewhere around 2012 or 13. Even though she's been making the rounds in various, branches of the fiction. I think the last time we saw her was in Cyberverse. She was also in the second iteration of IDW Comics, so that probably wrapped up like 2022, whenever the license expired for them before it went to Skybound. We had a year off. But we wanted a Generations updated Windblade. She's a character that's been embraced by the fandom, even though it's a newer character that was created from a fan poll and everything like that. So I definitely wanted her. I do have a Windblade from Thrilling 30, but I think this one's gonna be a little bit better, but I don't know for sure. We gotta find out. So starting off with the usual packaging, we've got her in her jet mode, flying over Cybertron perhaps, and there she is, of course, in the package. And they've got her with her sword. There's the nice artwork on the side. Close up of the face. Then you've got your 1/2 40th anniversary of Transformers. And a lot of the upcoming figures, including Thundertron and Magmatron. Both figures I intend to pick up. Tigerhawk, Tigerhawk is, I got a shipping notice on him, so maybe about a week you'll be seeing a review for him. Tasmanian Kid, another one I'll be getting. So yeah. Then you've got her product shots, jet mode, robot mode, and 16 steps for conversion. I'm kind of bummed that they took the text back away. There's no QR code anywhere on the package. That kind of sucks. Maybe that's where some of the layoffs went. They're putting the QR codes on the G.I. Joe classified series as well, but they don't work. They never worked. The Transformers did, but then they stopped working. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. But when they take, weird flavor stuff away, it always makes me a little leery. Anyway, let's get Windblade open and see what we're dealing with. Alright, we've got Windblade out of the package, and in a slight deviation from how I normally do it, I wanted to show that instead of the weird or just regular old paper, Hasbro has taken a page from the G.I. Joe team, and now they're bagging up the accessories in Autobot labeled bag. We'll have to pick up a Decepticon to see if it's gonna just be Autobot bags or if they'll have Decepticon bags as well. But this is a very nice touch. Bravo to you, Hasbro. I've not seen anybody mention this in the reviews that I've seen, but admittedly, I haven't watched a lot of reviews on United stuff yet, so somebody else might have already mentioned it, but I definitely wanted to be sure to mention it. Her accessories are her ever-present sword and her tiara. Yes, that's what we're calling it. So we should put her wings down like that because that's how they should be. And I guess her tiara is supposed to be like a secondary weapon because why else make it come off? There's a little peg in the back of her head. You just stick it on there. Now she has the proper look. And her hands are still very similar to the Thrilling 30 Windblade in that it's just sort of like a half-opened hand. And you just stick her sword in there. And you're good to go. Now getting a closer look at Windblade herself. Of course, we can see that she has the fan blades, which are half painted, half not. Might want to do something about that. And from an articulation standpoint, you can do that. She does have waist swivel, which probably has something to do with transformation. Her thigh swivel is on this style joint. Pretty good knee bend. Ankle rocker. Head goes up, goes somewhat down. Looks good on either side, although she has a backpack, but it's not like some sort of out of place backpack, I guess. So she does have ample articulation. Well, that's pretty cool. She also has a wrist swivel, so she can gesture, which are things I always check for stop motion purposes, of course. Yeah, so there you go. Sword. An energy effect, no Evo fusion this time, it's just the sword. And she's got a couple of 5mm ports in her legs for that kind of fun. 5mm ports on her wings. So you got a couple of options for extra weapons. Oh look, 5mm ports under her arms there too. So that's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's get her transformed into her jet mode and see what we can see there. Here is Windblade in her jet mode. Her transformation isn't really all that difficult. She has tabs, of course. Everybody has tabs now, and the tabs work fairly well. There were a couple of evolution figures that I got that the tabs weren't necessarily the best, but her tabs work out pretty good. She's got landing gear, the 5mm ports are definitely compromised on the wings here, but there are extra ones. So there's actually extra ones on the inside. And I just noticed her arm on the back has 5mm ports too, but they're, you know, obscured by the wings. But you can kind of see already the bones of how they're going to do Slipstream, who we know is coming, and it's sure to be a retool of Windblade. But yeah, a couple of tabs here, just tabbing them in, and they work, you know, a lot better than other figures. You know, she has handlebars in a sense to hide her hands. It's kind of cool how they did that. So there you go, Windblade in jet mode. Alright, comparison time. So the first and most obvious comparison would be to the Thrilling 30 Windblade. That's an okay figure, but kind of has stability issues. I actually had her standing. I should have just left her where she was because she was standing perfectly. And as soon as I picked her up, all semblance of balance was lost. But there she is. And I have to make the decision of do I want to use the sword that comes with the Cyberverse Universe Windblade, or the one that comes with the Thrilling 30. And I have a feeling that I'm probably gonna do both. But you know, this figure served its purpose, but it's definitely on the obsolete side of things. Even if some of the things about it I like a little bit better, like the wings being much larger. But in general, this is just a much better design figure, much more stable. Certainly going to be easier to animate. So I'm going to give the new one the nod. And then next, we'll bring in, just for scale purposes, Windblade's good buddy, at least in my telling, Bumblebee in his gold bug form. And then of course, Earthrise Optimus Prime. So there's your comparisons. I'm going to move on to final thoughts. Final thoughts on Transformers Legacy United Windblade. I really like this figure. Transforms easily. The tabs work. And, you know, she has a good look, even if it's not like strictly based off the original. In a sort of cyberverse, you know, what are you gonna do? The old figure, while decent, it just isn't up to snuff anymore. So, you know, this is a good replacement. So with all that said, I'm gonna give this figure a 9, which I think is a great review. Ranking. She is, you know, I mean, she's definitely better than the other offerings that I've opened. So, you know, the last figure I opened was Strong Arm, and you know, while she's cool and everything, there's things about it that are, you know, she's an 8, and that's probably really because I like the character. But Windblade just seems to work out a little bit better. And so, you know, if you can do everything you can do with the figure, then why not? And they took design cues from the old the old figures, as you can see. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with that 9. We're off to a nice solid start with Legacy United, and we have a few more figures to go, you know, from that first batch of offerings, as I mentioned. So that's going to do it for this one, the final review of 2023. Again, you will see Windblade again in some stop motion action here in the near future. All right, guys, it's been a heck of a year. Lots of great action figures, lots of ups and downs. It was an interesting year. I've had better, but I've also had worse. So here's looking towards 2024, and I hope everybody has a great year, myself included, of course. And we'll see you all in the next year. Peace.
The way I got it figured.